Welcome to Kalos's Gaming Table. I am Kalos. This is going to be a different sort of Battletech video from me. I'm not going to go over a battle mech, a weapon system, a product, or even an era, but instead, I'm going to be going over a rule. Well, make that an optional rule. An optional rule that many players have a strong opinion about in one way or the other. Here we go, into probably rantish territory. But hey, it's my channel, and I can pull a Cartman and do what I want. Today, I'm going to discuss floating criticals. Through armor criticals have been a mainstay, as far as I know, for Battletech since its inception. For those unsure what a through armor critical is, when you successfully hit your target, and you roll Snake Eyes, or 2, on the hit location, you have a chance to score a critical hit on that opponent mech. This critical could be applied to whichever torso you're facing, but more often than not, it's the center torso. You might have found a loose armor plate, a vent that was not properly closed, or just gotten a lucky hit down an SRM2, something like that. However you want to justify it, when rolling a 2 on the location of a hit, you have the potential for a through armor critical. Now, you still need to confirm that critical, namely you need to roll an 8 or better on 2d6. On a roll of an 8 or a 9, you get a single crit. On a roll of 10 or 11, you get 2 crits. And then, on a roll of a 12, you get 3 crits. Now, the TAC is not guaranteed, but if you do confirm that critical, you get some juicy targets, such as an engine or a gyro, possibly both depending upon how many crits you roll. Losing either of those can start to ruin a mech warrior's day, but some mechs might also have some ammo stored in their center torso, and, well, let's just say you can't put case or case 2 in your center torso. Through armor criticals are a pain, but they're a part of the game, and you don't know fun until your fresh mech takes that AC2 round at the center torso and gets 3 engine slots destroyed, or it takes 2 gyro criticals. Now, I may be using the word fun incorrectly, but work has been killing me this week, and I'm pretty sure my brain has turned into guacamole at this point. Now that we've established what a through armor critical is, what are floating criticals? Well, they're an optional rule that was established because when the clans first invaded in '91, clan players didn't want to lose their expensive mechs to a lucky shot. Instead of using through armor criticals, floating crits were added. If you rolled Snake Eyes on the hit location, you confirmed the crit. But if the critical is confirmed, you roll again to see whether the crit actually lands this time. Maybe like an elbow or a kneecap or something like that. If the mech is in partial cover and you roll legs, well, guess what? You get to roll again. You might still hit a torso, but you also have a chance to hit something that is a lot less punishing when damaged. Clan players, they seem to have a lot more crits that they can burn through, things like double heat sinks, or energy weapons, or jump jets. But for Inner Sphere players, they have a lot less crits and a lot more ammo. Mechs like the Riflemen and Blackjacks suddenly become bigger death traps than they normally are. Once you realize what floating crits are, many players start to change their mech selection philosophy and start taking energy boats. Why take a Hunchback or an Archer when a floating crit can just hit an exposed ammo bin? It's been my observation that floating crits penalize Inner Sphere players far more than clan players, and it's not like the clans need more ways to rub Inner Sphere noses in clan superiority. Clan Omnimechs, by default, come with case, so any side torso or arms that have ammo in them will be lost if there's an ammo explosion, but since Clan XL engines only take up 2 critical slots in side torsos, it won't immediately be removed from the fight. If, however, you're running an Inner Sphere XL engine, if that side torso goes up from an ammo explosion, that mech will be out of the game as the Inner Sphere XL engines take up 3 slots in the side torso. Sure, it'll be salvageable, but in a pickup game, does that really matter? Got a Gauss rifle or 2? Do you get a floating crit that hits the location where the Gauss rifle is? Well, boom. Planners complained about through armor criticals and threw a tantrum until floating crits were added. But those same clanners had no issues leaving 15-point head-capping weapons that can reach out to 23 hexes in the game. But a through armor critical that might cripple their mech? Oh, that's a bridge too far. Filthy, cheating, whining clanners. Now, I've heard some argue that floating crits make the game more interesting. I disagree. It's already interesting with the risk of taking an engine or a gyro hit through attack, but now you might take a mech's head off with 3 head crits, or blow the leg off of a mech that just took 5 points of damage? Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun to me. Now, if you enjoy floating crits, and they're used by your group, fantastic. You enjoy that madness. I'd prefer not to use them. I'd also be curious to see if those who want floating crits mostly drive energy boats, or if they play with risky ammo mechs. So those are my views on floating crits. This was something of a different video for me, but there are plenty of rules and optional rules that we can discuss. Do you use floating crits in your games? Do you find that they make the game spicier, more fun, or do you just prefer regular through armor criticals? Do you have any stories to share with floating crits, good or bad? Are there any other optional rules you'd like me to go over? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video.